Greetings, Elder Black Light. We exposing the mind of the Caucasian uh, up against the mind of the original Asiatic black man, the original man. Uh, One video back, we asked the question, what's the opposite of original? And we came up with the word artificial, synthetic. Now, I didn't use the devil, that word devil, as being the opposite of original because that word devil has many layers to it. One layer meaning a deceiver. Another layer or another meaning is weak, a weak person that gives into corruption. Yeah, that could cover anybody. You know, another meaning is taken from the original. The opposite could be devil because it's taken from the original and it's all the way on the other side of the spectrum. But during this pandemic, it's obvious that the Caucasian is against nature. Every weapon comes from him. Guns, this mass produced comes from him. Guns, knives, bombs, whatever it is, could be used as a weapon. He's manufacturing and coming up with uh, diseases and germs for germ warfare. He's even modifying insects like the killer beetle to kill off uh, bumblebees, honeybees, and even humans. He has a machine called HARP that's changing the weather. He has Monsanto's that kill seeds, vegetable seeds. Uh, Anything that kills, he's coming up with. And the society that we live in is a pressurized society. But, excuse me, the creator predicted this and designed this to make us stronger. Anytime you have pressure, like you might be pumping 300 or 400 pound weights, if you can master that, it makes you stronger. Because everything comes from the mind anyway. And so this is making us stronger and making us perfect in how we deal with corruption, negative vibrations, you name it. We still here and we handling this. So now it's time to rise up. Now check this out. Now I know brothers and sisters that watch me got to be strong in order to understand, overstand, and deal with what I'm saying. the truth and nothing but the truth.
That term Asiatic is a term that has its origins prior to the Kabbalah, but it can be found in the Kabbalistic scripts. So when we ask, what is the Kabbalah is, or what they say it is an esoteric method, discipline, and school of thought that originated in Judaism. But in reality, it's the esoteric knowledge that the original man gave the Europeans and Caucasians to civilize them from the hills and caves of Europe to put them on their square, and that's how they became Jews, Masons, etc., to be able to rule the world. That's the mathematics, the science, the astronomy that we gave them to put them on their square. Taught them how to cook their food, taught them how to eat the right foods, and this is what we gave to them to civilize them from the hills and caves of Europe when they was walking on all fours like savages, like beasts. And this is the information that they use to this day to hold over your head so that they can control the environment, control economics, control policy, and you have no idea what's going on because you're not in tune with your ancient scriptures and your ancient texts. Let's break this word down, Kabbalah. As you see in the word Kabbalah, you have the Ka, Ba, and Allah. The Ka in so-called Egyptian religion or our ancient Kemetic spiritual systems is a spiritual entity, an aspect of the individual believed to live within the body during life and to survive it after death. And we understand the only thing that's surviving after the physical body leaves is the electromagnetism, the light, which is known as the mind within the body. Then you have the Ba, also in so-called Egyptian religion or Kemetic spiritual systems, is the aspect of the soul represented as a human-headed bird.
Now, I'm sorry, and I don't want to cut your bill.
Go ahead.
But when you say so-called religious Ka in the Ba, I don't think we can say so-called because we know that was the first call.
Well, let's swing it around.
When we deal with the Ka and the Ba, that's the first call. That's where all the other religions come from.
Right. Well, when I'm saying
can't say so-called.
No, when I'm saying so-called,
yeah, brother.
When I'm saying so-called, so the European have us think that, you know, all of our ancient spiritual systems and sciences was religion in the way that they give it to you today. When we never believed in mystery gods, we never believed in things outside of self, we always understood that we were connected to the all and that we were the gods that we were talking about in these scripts. So when I say so-called religion, I don't see it as a religion, and I'm certain the way that our ancestors threw it down was not about religion.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I ain't gonna cut your bill.
No doubt. You can add on anytime you need to. So the soul, right? We understand the soul phonetically is the same sound or the same word as soul, which is the Latin root, which means sun, and the sun meaning star. So that's where we receive the electromagnetic energy within this particular system that we absorb as original people and re-emit as well. And then you have the Allah, which is God or the universal mind of infinite blackness or all light. So when you combine the Ka, the Ba, and the Allah, all that is the arm, leg, arm, head. That's what we say in our culture, the arm, leg, arm, head, which is Allah. And this is the secret of all secrets. And I'm going to show you. When you look at the Hebrew letters of Yahweh, you stand those letters up and you have a body. You have the arm, leg, arm, and supreme head. Now Yahweh means God. You stand those words up and you see that the original man is God. This is the secret that they've always strove to hide from us. This is why they have the sword on the upper part of their head. So when you look at these Masons and these people in these secret societies and submersive groups, such as the Masons or the Rosicrucians or the Illuminati or the Order of the Quest or whatever these names are, whether they're spooky or real, we understand that these Europeans are studying us in secret. And they're not giving us the truth that they actually bow down and worship us and worship the information and the science that we brought to them to put them on their square. You can even see J. Edgar Hoover up here, who was the head of the CIA, also the founder. Then you got a president, Harry S. Truman, Gerald Ford, many other presidents. Even this cracker right here, Luther Burbank, who was a pioneer in hybrid and genetically modified fruits and vegetables and agriculture. And you see he has the Islam on the top of his hat, but we'll go into that. So that sword on the upper part of this flag is to let you know that if they reveal the secret, that it's us who gave them a chance to clean themselves up and come among us, and their heads will be taken off by the sword. Because once we realize who we are as the original people, and this is what they've been hiding the whole time, then we will take their heads off. Now, I have our great ancestor brother up here, Dr. Ben, and we love Dr. Ben, and he dropped some extraordinary, powerful knowledge and information to us as a people. So I would never disrespect this man or this man's lineage or his legacy. He brought us some great work. However, we must keep in mind the reason that most of our brothers and sisters in the Pan-African movement or the RBG movement has an anti-Islamic stance. And I'm not talking about this pale European, bastardized, mutated version of Islam. I'm talking about the real science of Islam that we use as a practice and built systems that have defeated Europeans for over 1,000 years, and it was brought back in our most recent history by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad Noble Drew Ali and of course Allah the Father. Now as you see, our great brother, he can teach us but so much. Because as you see, he was initiated in the secret orders of the Europeans. He was educated by them, and you see the sword on the upper part of his hat, the sword on the upper part of his flag, which means he cannot reveal the truth of the black man being God. Now I came to this debate years ago with, it was Brother Wesley Muhammad
and Natural
Tahuti. And he put the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the board, and he was comparing him to the Masons and showing a connection with him in Masonry. But here's one thing he didn't mention in that lecture, was that he does not have a sword on the upper part of his flag. And this is why he revealed the truth that the black man is God. Let's move on. Back to the Kabbalah. Within the Kabbalah, you have what's known as the 4 Kabbalistic worlds. And here's how we're going to break up a lot of confusion that's been around for many, many years. You have the 4 Kabbalistic worlds. One is Atzilut, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya, also known as Asia. Asiya, which is also known as Asia.